lot has been happening in Colombia for a couple of years now. Well, just last year, a man had been extradited from the Colombian turf to the US and was sentenced to 45 years in prison by a federal judge. You might ask who this man is and why was he given such a cruel punishment? To answer your question, we might need to put a thick magnifying glass on and watch the story closely. DEA and other federal departments have been trying to put a stop on the drug rage for decades now. However, every time they bust up a cartel, a new one takes its place. Something similar happened in Colombia 15 years ago when the Gulf Clan came to power in the drug smuggling ring. Their fearless leader was not only a smart gun, but was a strategist and had a good knowledge of trade routes as well. Dairo Antonio Usuga David, also known as the notorious Otoniel, has proven to be one of the most expensive criminals ever. You might wonder how that works. Well, the federal government has spent well over $200 million to catch this guy. They were successful in doing so. But still, could you imagine spending $250,000 just to catch and imprison one person? That is indeed crazy. So Otoniel did a lot of organizing with his time in the Gulf Clan. He uprooted the old traditions of drug rings in Colombia and made them better in his own way. It all began in 1989 when Otoniel, at the tender age of 18, was drawn into the vortex of the Popular Liberation Army, or EPL, a guerrilla group fiercely committed to defending the rights of impoverished peasants against oppressive landowners and a government perceived as indifferent to their struggles. In a 2015 interview, Otoniel's mother, his voice of reason in a world teetering at the edge of chaos, candidly confessed he was not a revolutionary. But it was all there was, and he went with them. It was a stark reflection of the limited choices facing young men like Otoniel in a region fraught with socioeconomic inequality and armed conflict. The EPL's narrative took an unexpected twist in 1991 when they inked a peace agreement with the Colombian government. Suddenly, Otoniel and his comrades found themselves navigating the treacherous terrain of civilian life. It was a turning point, one that would catapult them into a new world of intrigue, danger, and criminality. In the dark underbelly of Colombian society, the United Self-Defenses of Colombia, or AUC, awaited, a far-right paramilitary group that thrived on power, violence, and most notably, drug trafficking. Otoniel, like a moth drawn to a flame, found his place within its ranks. The labyrinth network of illicit activities became his new domain, and the shadows his sanctuary. The pivotal year was 2005 when Usaga's journey took an ominous turn. He entered the employ of Daniel Rendon Herrera, the reigning leader of the Los Urabeños drug trafficking group. Otoniel and his brother Giovanni were ascending stars in the criminal constellation, their influence growing with each passing day. Yet, as if often the cruel fate of those entangled in the underworld, Giovanni met his untimely end during a police raid in 2009. It was a twist of destiny that would cast Otoniel into the role of the Gulf Clan's undisputed leader. In the eyes of New York federal prosecutors, Otoniel was no ordinary criminal. He was a force of nature. They aptly described him as the most violent and significant Colombian drug trafficker since the legendary Pablo Escobar. A title earned through a reign marked by cold-blooded efficiency and an insatiable lust for power. But Otoniel's reach transcended borders. He masterminded the shipping of an unending stream of cocaine consignments to the United States, leaving a trail of devastation in his wake. His crimes knew no bounds, encompassing the chilling murder of police officers, the recruitment of impressionable minors into his criminal enterprise, and even the abhorrent sexual abuse of innocent children. In the shadowy world that Otoniel ruled, alliances were forged and shattered with chilling regularity. Power was measured in kilos of contraband, and every move was a calculated step into the abyss. Corruption wormed its way into the heart of institutions, facilitating his nefarious designs. It was a world where loyalty was a fleeting currency, and betrayal could prove fatal. The pursuit of Otoniel became a relentless, high-stakes battle on both sides of the law. Years stretched into eternity, and the cost of his capture skyrocketed into the stratosphere. Yet, in the face of adversity, the authorities remained resolute. They were fueled by an unyielding determination to bring this criminal mastermind to justice no matter the cost. In the end, Otoniel's capture represented more than just a victory for law enforcement. It was a triumph for a nation weary of the tyranny of organized crime. His story from the humblest of beginnings to the zenith of criminal infamy serves as a chilling reminder of the power that a single individual can wield within the enigmatic world of crime. Colombia's struggle against the shadows of its past continues, and Otoniel's legacy remains etched into its turbulent history as a testament to the indomitable human spirit's capacity for both darkness and redemption. So that was the story of Otoniel, the drug kingpin. Well, don't worry, because this is not the end. If you paid close attention to what I had said earlier, you would know that every time a drug lord or a cartel goes away, someone new takes the spot. Well, it hasn't even been 2 years now, and there is someone new in Colombia. So let's dive right back into the murky waters of Colombia's drug underworld. It hasn't even been 2 years since Otoniel's empire crumbled like a house of cards, and like clockwork, a new player has emerged from the shadows, hungry for power. Now, don't expect me to spill the beans just yet, because this new guy, he's playing it smart. He's managed to stay under the radar, make it nearly impossible for anyone to pin him down. But if you lend an ear to the whispers echoing through the back streets of Colombia, and I'll admit it, these whispers often carry as much friction as fact, you'd think this guy might have some surprising connections up his sleeve. We're talking about a man who, if you believe the talk of the streets, has ties to none other than George Jung. You remember George, right? He made a name for himself as one of the top cocaine smugglers into the US during the 70s and 80s. If that holds true, our new kingpin could be a protege of one of the best in the business. It doesn't stop there. Some folks even suggest this mystery figure might have had dealings with none other than the infamous Pablo Escobar. Yes, you heard me right, Pablo Escobar. That name still carries a weight around here, and some speculate that our man might have been one of the behind-the-scenes architects who kept the Medellin cartel running even after Pablo's fall from grace. But here's the twist, my friend. This guy isn't the flashy type, not like Pablo, and he's not making grand gestures like Otoniel did. No, he's the kind who prefers to operate in the shadows, manipulating things from behind the scenes. He's got the craftiness of a fox and the anonymity of a ghost, because the world of drug trafficking is a world where the truth is often muddied by lies and misinformation. Trust? Well, that's a rare commodity here, about as common as an honest politician. So, who is this shadowy character, and what is his endgame? Is he on a mission to build an empire that rival the legends of the past? Or is he content to stay in the shadows, quietly pulling the strings? One thing's for certain, the cat and mouse game between law enforcement and the cartels is far from over. Otoniel's story was just one chapter in this never-ending saga. This new player? He's added a fresh layer of intrigue to the mix. Colombia's underworld keeps evolving, and its players remain as elusive as they are ruthless. Colombia's drug trade is a sprawling network of illicit activity that reaches far beyond its borders. It's a business that's etched into the very fabric of the nation, fueled by a complex web of factors. The drug trade in Colombia didn't emerge overnight, and it certainly didn't die with the likes of Pablo Escobar. It's deeply rooted in the country's history and socio-economic conditions. Poverty, lack of opportunities, and government instability have all played their part in creating an environment where the drug trade thrives. You see, it's just not about one man or one cartel. It's a multifaceted beast, with countless cogs turning in the machine. And when one leader falls, there's always someone waiting in the wings, ready to seize the moment. That's the nature of the narco game in Colombia. Law enforcement and the Colombian government have been waging a relentless battle against drug traffickers for decades. They've made significant strides in dismantling cartels and capturing high-profile figures. Yet the allure of quick riches and the power that comes with controlling the drug trade continue to draw new players into the fold. In the coming months, it'll be interesting to check out the operations of this new player and the challenges faced by law enforcement in their efforts to unmask him.